Yeah, you knew I was doing it. You knew I had to do a spoiler discussion on apes on horses. Strong. So in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, there's a lot of cool shit to talk about. Yeah, as you know, I don't do a spoiler video for everything. Example, Tammy. Didn't give a shit to. But apes, yeah. Let's do that. Because that shit is rad. At the beginning of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, you see Caesar and his civilization. You're like, all right, they're flourishing. They haven't seen humans in a couple years. Life is good for them. Then Agent Friendzone from Fringe comes along a couple. He gets freaked out and he wastes one. That's when that scene in the trailer comes where all these apes are just in the trees. And the main dude's like, we don't mean you any harm. And Friendzone from Fringe is like, they're just apes, man. He's like, do they look like just apes to you? You look around, you're like, yeah, that's a nice solid military formation they got going on. I'd listen to him. What I love is, all right, at this point, we know Caesar talks. We saw it happen in the last movie. Yeah, that one scene that you YouTube very often and you watch because it's just one of the coolest moments in movies ever. He's looking at him, he's all, go! And you feel like you heard him talk for the very first time. Even they're freaked out. That's what I love about this movie is even though you know Caesar talks, every time Caesar talks, people are so shocked that it happens, you feel like you're watching it happen for the first time. You're like, oh, he's so cool. He's still the John Connor of apes. And at the point when the main human was like, we need the dam to get power, I was like, all right, this is going to be Avatar. The main human's gonna be hanging out with the apes. The dam is gonna be the unobtainium that the humans want. And then General Dick Quaritch, who we'll call Gary Oldman this time around, is gonna be like, oh, but we need it. And he's gonna go to war with the apes, and the main dude's gonna fight alongside the apes against the humans. Hey, guess what didn't happen? Any of that shit. Like I said in my spoiler-free review, the thing you gotta keep your eye on in this movie is Koba. Koba, you knew from the last movie this guy was gonna be a bad egg from the start, but you just didn't know how much. He put a gun in Caesar's kid's hand and had him fight for a cause his father was adamantly against. That is dick! Have you no shame? Up till this point, the apes and Caesar, they've been like, oh, humans have destroyed themselves. They're dicks. We are better than that. It's usually how things like this are. They're very black and white. It's like, oh, humans killed themselves off, and now there's us, and we have a pristine civilization. But would it be like that? Probably not. They have very human traits like ambition and anger and shit like that. So at that point, how far does it go? Well, Koba shows us it goes to fear, aggression, deceit, framing human beings. They have a strict rule, though, like apes don't kill apes. But Koba assesses, well, it's not really killing, it's not murder. If you frame humans and go to war, that needs to happen so we maintain dominance. It's murder. But he goes that extra mile. He shoots Caesar. Caesar sees it happen. That's the worst part. If Caesar just got shot and then fell, he didn't know who did it, all right. Caesar would probably be like, why did a human being shoot me? That's dick. Point is, he sees Koba. He looks him right in the eyes when it happened, and Koba's all grinning that really gross, scarred up face grin. Like, and then Caesar just falls over and dies. I really thought Caesar was dead. I'm not gonna lie to you. Usually I'm that guy who can be like, oh, they didn't show that scene in the movie that they showed in the trailer, so Caesar's alive. Which I did think about, but I was like, oh, they didn't show that scene in the trailer where Caesar's watching the camcorder and he's watching all the 127 hours footage. But I thought maybe that was a scene that they deleted out of the movie because it felt too shoehorned into the movie. So all right, deleted scene, Caesar's dead. So Koba frames people and that one ape just looks to the humans. He's like, run. Yep, that's what I was thinking. That's what the ape was thinking. That's what the humans were thinking. That's what the humans did. They get the fuck out of Dodge. They go, they hide, the apes go to war with humans. At this point, the apes go and ransack the human city. Now, I thought Gary Oldman, like I said, was gonna be the dick in the movie. He really wasn't. In fact, I really empathize with Gary Oldman a lot. He's lost his family. A scene where he gets his iPod back running and he's crying because he's seen pictures of his family for the first time in God knows how long. Holy shit, who didn't choke up on that? Koba leads the assault. The apes are divided. They're like, I don't think Caesar'd want us to do this. Koba goes and grabs that one. He could just beat him to death like an ape and that would be that. But no, he needs to freak him out and make an example. He takes him over to that precipice and just throws him over. You are becoming what you hate, Koba. And that's another thing I loved about this movie too. Caesar's talking to his son. He was like, I just thought humans were dicks. I didn't realize how like them we are. It's so easy to be like, oh, humans are douches and apes take over and they're intelligent and they're the good guys. But would it be like that if an animal really gained the intelligence of a human being? I feel like they'd have the same problems we have. Like murder and war and anger and prejudice. Even at the end of the movie when the main dude's like, hey, Gary Oldman, stop, don't blow the C4, don't blow the tower. Caesar's up there, he's gonna regain control of the apes, all will be right with the world. Gary Oldman's like, sorry, I'm saving the human race. Bam! Even at that point, I was like, I don't think Gary Oldman's a dick, really. Put yourself in the guy's shoes. These apes have all just swarmed your human city. The last human city as far as you know. Which you know there are others because now the military's coming. Point is, he feels it's his responsibility to keep these people safe. He's probably like, I'm I'm sorry, I don't think your wounded ape is gonna win a fight against Scarface up there. I can't say I wouldn't have blown the tower if I was Gary Oldman myself. When he blew up the tower and blew himself up, I was like, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. Doesn't change the fact Caesar regains control of the pack. When he has Koba by the arm and Koba's like, ape, no kill ape, he's like, no, doesn't apply to you. He drops his ass. He doesn't just drop him. He hits a cord and then hits that big crane thing and it all folds in on itself onto him and then it drops. I love it when leaders with such a staunch rule, you know, they're like, oh, we don't break this rule, have to break the rule. Like when Batman had to push Two-Face over the ledge in The Dark Knight and kill him. But what was the alternative? He had no alternative. It's just the same thing. And at that point, the dude's like, the military's coming, a war is coming. He's like, war has already begun. This is gonna suck ass, but God willing, this movie makes its money back. We'll see each other in the third one. You know what I love about these Apes movies is I don't know when the next one will take place. It's gonna take place like a year after this, 2 months after this, an eon after this. Are we gonna see, you know, Cornelius and the apes who talk and shit? Yeah, they talk in this movie, but they don't like talk. They're a few years away from being like, Spaceballs. Oh shit, there goes the planet. I love that. I love not knowing where the sequel's gonna take us, but you know there's gonna be a sequel. There has to be a sequel. Don't reboot this shit now. I mean, carry it through to the end. Watch, it ties into the Mark Wahlberg one. Point is, I loved this movie. I loved where it took us. I love Koba. I love Caesar. Caesar's still the biggest awesome Jesus ape badass John Connor character that could have been in this movie. And I can't wait to see where the sequel goes. So Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, what was your favorite part of it? Whatever it was, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.